sharing and dropping nuggets. And next thing you know, we were on that call all day. It was literally a super Saturday online. So I want to start off first from that call, uh, uh, because we also had flight school. Like, it was yesterday, it was a lot. We had a lot of conference calls yesterday going on in between presentations, and we'll come back. I want to go back to flight school, but I do want to, let's start with that call that Sabina, our Sapphire Sabina, shared with the Accelerate group, and anybody that that got on, you know what I'm talking about. But who was on the call, and what were some of the takeaways that you got from that call? I know it was a lot of content, so just give us maybe 2 or 3 things that really resonated with you from all of the diamonds. And I think there may have been an emerald or two that also shared on that call. But anyway, I can't speak for everybody's rank that was on the call, but anything that you got, 2 or 3 takeaways from that call, please jump in and share your experience.
Hey, this is Tita.
Shatita.
Hey, I was on the call yesterday, and basically, what I got from it was the one lady that was on there. She was talking about how she built her business from the internet. You know, she said, and now she's having to teach herself how to teach herself to be a one-on-one person. But she said the corona came just in time because she don't have to practice right now. But and then I like how Tommy, how they said Tommy helped one of the ladies that was a stay-at-home mom build her business, and that she didn't really know, but this was like a community for her. So that opened my mind to other people who are stay-at-home moms. That's a whole nother set of people that I didn't realize that was probably open market.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That was good. It was really good. And I think that woman, didn't she go Sapphire in a month? Was that the same one?
She did.
Yes.
Yep.
She did, yes.
Go ahead, Sandra.
Hi there. So, yeah, the call was long. It was about 3-4 hours, wasn't it? But it was absolutely riveting. Yeah, it was riveting. I absolutely loved the fact that they were just doing these little testimonials of people that hadn't even hit Sapphire, you know, the couple in Canada. And I think it's nice for people just to see these are real people out there doing this, going through the same struggles as us and what they've achieved. So I love the fact that it was lots of little testimonials on how people are doing it.
Yeah, I agree. Was there any testimonial that stood out to you or anybody's story?
I like Judy Crawford. She was the lady that was the real estate agent. She was sponsored by Angie Fairfield, where she said that her boomerang was always her plan B, and it's now become her plan A.
Is that the woman that she walked away? Didn't she say she wanted to do iBoom full time? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, she took 24 hours to decide. Yes, but I like the fact that she was contacted numerous times by Angie, and she kept saying, "Don't come near me if it's network marketing." And eventually, when she looked at it, she got it, and she also went Sapphire, I think, in a month.
Yep. Yeah, that was good. That was really good. Sweet. Anyone else? Any other shares from that call?
Hi, Ed.
Hey.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I really liked how Angie shared with us about Facebook, how really powerful it could be. And she taught us how to, join the group of interests and local groups and just start engaging with those people. And because social media is very powerful. And what people are doing these days, they're bored, they're watching TV shows, they're scrolling their timeline on Facebook, Instagram, and there you can show up with some interesting posts, inviting them to talk to you separately, or start texting them, those people that are interested in home-based business or travel or new technology business, or just people that lost their jobs. So these days we have to really pay attention on social media. that's what really resonated with me, because this is my, this is my favorite way of recruiting people and promoting our platform. That was
Yeah. Yeah, I know that's right. It's good. That is good. Anyone else? Any other takeaways?
Hey guys, hey, hi Ed, this is
What's up,
Elle.
Lydia?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, I agree with everyone. Sandra and Sabina, absolutely. It was such a powerful call. There were so many nuggets, and I was making notes for sure. But one of them was stop chasing money and start chasing mentorship. That was a good one. That was a great one. And then I think it was, they were saying how friendship, oh, okay, there was a phrase, friendship is diamondship. Friendship is diamondship. I love that. And then, of course, the whole mindset of expecting to win. We cannot say that and emphasize that enough, right? The whole mindset of just expecting to win. Don't get overwhelmed going too far in the future. Take one day at a time. And so those were the powerful reminders for sure.
Was anybody on, because he came on towards the end. There was a gentleman from Trinidad and Tobago that came on there. Did anybody hear him speak?
Oh my gosh, he was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the powerhouse.
He was so fired up. Like his energy was through the roof. Because I was like, man, I was at that point during the whole training, I was starting to be like, dang, this is like, okay, I got to do something. Like I was wanting to stay focused, but I was getting restless. And when he came on, he just gave me a whole new shot of energy. I loved his energy and his fire from that call. That was pretty powerful.
Ed, for those that have missed who missed the call, they can watch it again. The little snippets are up on Tommy Johnson's Facebook page.
Oh, sweet. Okay. So just go to Tommy Johnson's Facebook page and they can look at that?
Correct, yes.
Sweet.
Hi, Ed.
Hey, who's that?
It's Shani speaking. How are you?
Hey, Shani. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I actually loved the call last night because I actually lost my job during this time with the COVID-19. So it was so inspiring to actually listen to it.
Why?
And actually all that mentorship from everybody and that positivity is really boosting my self-esteem during this time.
That's good. That's good. I'm sorry that you lost your job, but I'm happy that you're staying plugged in.
Yes, definitely. So I'd like just to share that with everybody, because no matter what happens in life, you have to move on and move past everything.
100%. 100%. That's so good. That's so good. I liked there's so many different stories that were shared. There were some really good nuggets that were dropped throughout that time. One of the biggest takeaways was the ownership. It was was it Carol? Was that her name? Is that Tommy's mom's name? Carol Johnson, right?
Correct, Caroline.
Caroline, thank you. So Carolyn was the one who took the initiative to actually put the call together. It was her leadership that put that online event together and created this space where people could plug into and get empowered. And if you all notice, anytime I'm a part of anything, I really try to make sure I'm promoting it on social media. I'll take screenshots because I want to keep seeding with people that I know are watching me and what I'm doing, so that I want to create as much curiosity as I can. And there was like 340 people on that call. And I want people who are not in our world to say, well, wait a minute, what were they talking about? 340 people on a Saturday getting on a Zoom. What the hell were they? I want to create that curiosity. I want to keep dripping on people with whatever activity that is taking place, that I'm doing, that we're doing as a group, anything that I'm learning from, to continue to drip on prospects to use that law of attraction marketing in terms of our activity. So I'm always, not always, but I'm really working to be more diligent about marketing and promoting everything that we do to keep that curiosity bell ringing. So we had flight school yesterday, and the day before, let's talk about the day before. So Friday, Holton Buggs, our CEO and chairman, did a training on the compensation. He really went in terms of the detail and understanding of that. What were some things for you that stood out? What resonated with you? Were there any aha moments for you? For those of you that went through that training, and I know we'll have to go and watch it again, obviously, but just give me some of your initial takeaways from having him really break down the compensation plan. Unless I was the only one that was on that call. Maybe I was the only one. I don't know. Am I the only one here?
I was on the call.
Yes, go ahead.
Annette.
Melanie, you start.
Okay, yeah, I just loved, the whole plan that he put together, that economic stimulus plan was just phenomenal. It's just giving. And I just felt that everything around it was about helping us to promote the business and grow the business. And that is why all those specials are out there. So I think they are phenomenal specials. And I think we really need them at this point in time. And I mean, to feed 10 children on a first class pack that you sell, I mean, all that stuff is just phenomenal. So Larisha summarized it really nicely for us. And yeah, I just think it was phenomenal.
Good. Who else?
I really think the part when you said how to build your downline, the downline, it was two ways of building it. Either you could build it like, we had 7 levels. You can either build it in depth, or you can build the PET, the personal, personal something tree.
Personal enrollment tree?
Yeah, so he drew that. And I didn't know there was 2 ways that you can build your business. And he told us a successful way of building your business. I kept rewinding that and kept rewinding that and kept rewinding that because it's so funny. That's different from where I came from to now. So that right there, that's like a equation. He gave me a solution. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was really powerful for me.
Good.
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah, so I really like the basement, right? That our compensation plan has to be plus a system that we're really enjoying, right? Our system is everything. Plus, we would have to have a growth element, which we also have. And we are in a great environment. And that equals success, right? But everything that I just named would not be existing without our Lou. So Lou is huge right now. So I see different teams helping each other. That yesterday's call, people from across lines, cross teams, I don't know even, should I name them this way? So they're my friends. They're sharing this information. This is why we have access to all these calls. So this is Lou. This is what we are experiencing now. So it's a loyalty, unity, and edification that really, really, reminded me that we are in different company with different leadership, with different people, different concept, and we're so blessed. That was one of my intakes. I have all of them. I was the notes. Yeah, that was cool. Thank you.
Absolutely. No, I love Lou. Lou is the glue. Lou is the glue. Anyone else?
Hey Ed, this is Erica. Hi everybody.
Hey.
So I loved exactly what Sabina just said. That really jumped out at me in the beginning is when Holton was like, so many people, regardless of companies, will believe we have the best comp plan. But the way he broke that down, and Sabina just laid it out, that it's the comp, almost like an equation, the comp plan plus the system plus growth times the environment equals success. And I won't say anything else because Sabina just laid that out beautifully. So that was amazing. And then the like mind blower for me was the dynamic compression. And for those of us that are still really getting our foot in the door and starting to build, number one, that provides like just excitement and like, okay, let's get there. And like you said, at least get to Sapphire so you can experience a little bit of this. So overall, what I just came away with was, you know, we have an amazing company. We have just an outstanding visionary CEO founder who wants all of us to win. And he literally is doing whatever it takes to set all of us up that want it in a great position to earn residual income and to help other people do the same thing. But that dynamic compression, like I need to look at that a few more times just to get a handle on it. But it was like, what? It was just crazy. That was
awesome. Oh man, that's so true. I was in a meeting, and it was a meeting of some people that were about to start. They were about to start a network marketing company, and Holton was explaining to them. He said, "Do you know what dynamic compression is?" And they had no idea what he was talking about. And they're starting a network marketing company with a compensation plan. They have no idea what dynamic compression is. And he was like, well, he was letting them know the only reason he got to over $1 million a month was because of dynamic compression. And so when he designed the compensation plan for iBoomerang, I knew that he was going to create something where for people that have big goals and big dreams, they could actually fulfill them. They could really hit those high 6-figure and 7-figure monthly incomes over that period of time, you know, that 3 to 5 year gap, you know, time frame that he did it in. So I just thought that was really I was really glad that he shared that. I wasn't sure if he was going to go into it too much because it's definitely something you have to go back and look at. But I love our comp plan, and I love the fact that our compensation plan will expunge individuals who are no longer active. It compresses, it pushes everything up, and what that does is it keeps the tree healthy and strong, because there's always active people that are in it, which means more money's flowing through it. You don't have dead spots, and when you don't have dead spots, it makes for a lot more energy, excitement, and enthusiasm, and you're getting much greater results. And it affects every single person that's a part of that tree, which I thought, again, that's just from an energy standpoint and a money flow standpoint, that's really, really important. So yes, I agree with all of that. Sandra and I were having a conversation, and she asked me some things that I've just been following the 2020 plan, but I hadn't really looked at it up close as far as my personals. And because she asked me specific questions, and I said to her, you know, give me a minute, you know, I got to look at some stuff. And so I literally just went through everything and was looking at, because I never look at who's active, who's not. I'm only focusing on who am I, you know, talking to, who do I want to enroll, who do I want to help get to their next level. I really focus on the growth. I don't really focus on stagnation. I don't focus on people who aren't doing anything. I don't focus on any of that. I really just focus on growth. But because she asked me the question, it forced me to pause for a minute in my day and really look at everything. And you all will see that the way our system is set up and the way our compensation plan is set up, it really makes it so much simpler to be able to identify who's who. And when he talked about the levels, anyone that you enroll going 4 levels deep with that individual, it's so true. Like everything that he was talking about is exactly how it's panned out. And then when it goes past 4 levels, so if I enroll Shatita and Shatita enrolls Chris, and Chris enrolls John, and John enrolls Steve, well, see, that's 4 levels deep. Then Steve brings in someone, but then Chris brings in somebody else, Shatita brings in somebody else. What happens is when it gets to 8, when you go 8 deep, it will produce business. It will continue to grow with or without you. And you know, those laws and principles make it a lot simpler, so that all of us can be very focused on individuals that we're bringing in to help them to continue to drive that depth. Yeah, this is my son gave me this ring. It's my ring of protection. It's my superpower ring. So yeah, I just thought that was really good. And I have to go back and look at it again as well, because when, I don't know if you all caught this or not, the Sapphires, I know they caught it. You know, Sapphire is about your efforts. Like when you're building the organization, and he said, you know, the first part of it, this is you, and you hit Sapphire because you're doing most of the work, right? Sapphire is only 15,000 in volume. You could just put in a bunch of first class packs, like 15 first class packs in your Sapphire. And as your business continues to grow, he calls this part the fulcrum. This is when it switches, so that the building is happening from other leaders in your organization. It starts to build out, and you're not as significant to what's happening on this when you pass this point here, the fulcrum point, because other leaders are stepping up, other people are beginning to duplicate. And he talked about it, you know, if Cesar Munoz stepped away from his business, then his business is not going to really notice. But those of you that, you know, have hit Sapphire, you understand. And even for myself, even at Ruby, I'm still an integral part of what's happening, because my goal is to develop more Sapphires, more Rubies, develop individuals that want to hit those foundational ranks, so that I become less significant, and then I can go and start building new legs and all of that, which I'm doing anyway. But I just loved how he broke that down. So all of you that are looking at Sapphire, just know that you're not relying on anyone other than yourself. That's the cool thing about that rank, is if other team members are stepping up, that's great, but you don't have to have that. You can literally just go out and enroll those enough volume yourself to hit that rank. And all of us that hit Sapphire, we did it pretty quickly, which means you just have to, you know, make that decision and follow what he was talking about. Now, he talked about building wide, which again is another thing that has always proven true in my experience. Anytime you go out and you enroll, in my first company, we would always say, go get another 30, like go put in another 30 people as quickly as you can. So I went through cycles where I put in 2 sets of 30. So I got to 60 personals really quick. And I wasn't really finding what I didn't see what I was looking for in those first 60. So then I went out and put in another 60. So that was my focus, like put in another 60 personals, because I knew that I could find what I was looking for based on the numbers and how the averages work. I could, and I did. I found a good crop of strong leaders in the next batch of 60 personals. And he talked about how he was 267 wide. And when you go wide, so you go wide during the day and you build depth at night. So during the days when you're doing one-on-ones and you're prospecting, you're doing the eye decides and all of that. And then at nighttime, you plug them into whoever the presenter is that night. We have an 8 o'clock presentation. We have a 9 o'clock presentation every single night. So you can promote for that, and all of your personals that you're talking to during the day, plug them into the nighttime presentation. And we have it going on all throughout the day, because there are different time zones here. There are people that are doing activities and presentations early in the morning, late at night, so on and so forth. So you have that at your disposal but that's my focus right now. And again, going back to that initial conversation I had with Sandra Thomas I was like, okay, because I had a horrible month. Like, I think, you have to know how to manage the storms when they come. And March was not a productive month for me. As far as my personals, like personally enrolling people, I didn't enroll anybody personally in March or February. February was more deliberate. Like, I understood that because I was promoting and getting people to the accelerated vet. But March, I was very like, I wanted to be deliberate, but it just didn't happen for me. So you have to understand, like, sometimes you're going to have those periods, and you have to be able to identify. Like, it's nothing that, like, I don't get emotional about it. I look at it and say, okay, well, why weren't my personals up at all in March? Well, I can look at my calendar and I can tell you exactly why, because of where I was spending my time and what I was spending my time doing and the distractions that I allowed to take up space throughout my day, right? So I can identify those things, and as we're here in April, I can make the appropriate adjustments. And then obviously with what we have at our disposal in terms of the stimulus package, the iBoomerang stimulus package, it's an absolute no-brainer how much fire we can set for this month. So we had flight school on Saturday, and they did a really good job of reviewing the stimulus package. If you all noticed, I sent it out again earlier today because I explained each one, because some of your team members are going to ask you about it. Well, I wanted to make sure that we had each one clearly explained so everybody could look at it, so you don't have to keep repeating yourself. You can resend that one out because it explains all 6 of the stimulus package benefits and how they work. And that's incredible. Like, we have the opportunity to generate hundreds of dollars a day in income. Like if you have a goal, if I have a goal to make $200 a day, okay, $200 a day, that's $1,400 a week. That's just on the weekly, okay? So that just on the weekly, you're looking at an extra almost $6,000 a month. So, but because of the stimulus package, I know exactly what I have to do and where to spend my time and where to work. And that's part of understanding this business of what we do, knowing exactly how to spend your time and where to work. So what I did was I got in contact with a group of individuals, a very small group. So here's what I did. I looked at people who show up for their goals and their dreams the way that I show up for my goals and my dreams. I didn't look at who's the top producer. I didn't look at who's got the most volume. I didn't look at who's got the rank, director, senior director. I didn't look at the ranks. I didn't look at any of that. I said who's showing up the way that I show up for my goals and my dreams, okay? And then I looked at who has already proven that they can produce. Okay, that was the second group. So if there's someone who's already a high rank, a high leadership rank, or they're close to Sapphire, or they've produced a lot of volume, or they have a good number of personals already, then I had a conversation with them. And I just asked them some questions, okay, about what is their goal, what's their outcome? Because now I'm asking permission to hold them accountable, but it also helps me to be more efficient with how I'm spending my time. And each of you you already have a group that you're building, great. What the 2020 plan does when you couple it is, for those of you that haven't built your first class yet, and just so you know, your first class is when you put 6 personals in on the left and 6 personals in on the right. If you haven't even done that yet, then you know where you need to spend all your time, putting in 6 personals on your left, 6 on your right. If you haven't built your second class yet, that's 6 more personals on the left, 6 more personals on the right, you know exactly where you need to spend your time. So it allows all of us to be very efficient. And the reason Holton Bugs has created 45 7-figure annual income earners is because it works. Like whatever we are reiterating, it's only because it works. I don't need to tell you about what duplicates. I need to tell you what works, because what works is also going to be duplicatable anyway. And that's the beauty of the situation that we're in. So all of you have a very clear track to run on with the Boom TV schedule. That's important that you you have that as a resource. Now, one thing I said to the Accelerate group was, don't allow Boom TV to take the place of Netflix. And what I mean is, don't just become a spectator, okay? It's great that we have ongoing content that's virtually around the clock every day. However, that doesn't mean that you just sit and watch Boom TV and you're not doing income producing activities, you're not setting appointments, you're not getting people on either side, you're not doing your own presentations, and you're not promoting what you're doing. So Boom TV is there when you're not showing the opportunity, when you're not doing a presentation yourself. If you have some downtime or you're going over your list, you can have Boom TV on in the background. That's great. But don't allow that to just overtake your ability to go out here and make stuff happen, even if it's in a virtual sense. All right. When people get started, when new people get started, make sure that they have their calendar so that you're explaining to them, listen, here's what we have. Every week we have flight school at 9 a.m. Saturday. Every Sunday we have our weekly Go Sapphire Fast Start at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Put that in your calendar. Do not miss those events. And then we have Vision coming up. And obviously you will have had this conversation before they enrolled. We have an event coming up. Make sure you get your ticket. It's only $50 instead of spending $300. Get your ticket for Vision. That's happening at the end of August. So, you're putting those things in place. Listen, don't worry about where we're going to be, because I know we don't know where we're going to be in terms of August and all of that. It doesn't matter, because they'll get a credit for it anyway, even if we don't have the event. If we have to push the event back or whatever, they're going to have the credit. Just make sure that you have them put that on the calendar, because you're teaching people how to schedule their success, how to set their watch by, to the success that they want to create. That's really important. And then Boom TV, like you can, every day I send out the schedule so that everybody knows what's happening when. I don't know that I think I try to make sure that we're on schedule, because I don't really look at the whole week. I just do it day by day. But I want to make sure that you all have, know what you have access to, and you can plug into what you're able to plug into outside of your own work and production. So I did want to talk about this really. I wanted to go over it again. We did this a while ago. I think we did it probably in the earlier part of fall. So this is one of the most powerful weapons of success, and it's something that you can't have success without it, okay? It's one of the most powerful tools that you're going to have when it comes to your success. It's always going to be a question of your belief. And when you look at belief, so there are different parts to this word, but it's the most powerful word. So the first part is be. When you be, you can do. And when you do, you can have. So who am I being? Am I being a leader in this moment? Am I being a producer in this moment? Am I being a student in this moment? Based on who I be, that's how I do. So I am being a leader by setting the tone, by making the phone calls. I contacted 373 people this week from Monday. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, yeah. So over the last 5 days, I've contacted 373 people. So I'm being, based on my being, I say I am a leader. I'm going to do. So I do that activity based on who I be. And then you can have greater results. You can have greater duplication, because other leaders will start to show up and emulate what you do. Now, the second 3 letters are the most important. L-I-E. Lie. We love to lie to ourselves. Now, here's the difference, though. Here's the difference. Losers, they lie, and their lies are disempowering, and they live those lies out. Okay? Leaders, they lie too. Leaders are liars. Okay? Losers are liars and leaders are liars. Leaders lie, but their lies are empowering, and leaders lie and they tell the same lie until it becomes true. Leaders lie and they tell the same lie until it becomes true. I wake up in the morning and I'm looking at a blue diamond. Now that's a lie, because I'm not a blue diamond, I'm a ruby. But I lie to myself every day because I'm living in my future. And I stay on that track until, that's the operative word, until it becomes true. Losers, they buy into a different type of lie. I can't do it. No one will listen to me. It's not the right time. Maybe they're not home. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. I have no credibility or influence. I suck. Like, they buy into lies of lack, limitation, low self-esteem, low self-worth, low self-image, low expectation. That's what losers do. That's why they lose out on so much. Losers lose out because they buy into a low expectation lie. Leaders lead, and we build based on vision. I can tell you all, we're building an organization that will have tens of thousands of people in our organization. That's not true right now. I'm talking about what's going to happen, but I'm living in the future. It's a lie, but it's an empowering lie. When I wake up and I'm talking to the blue diamond, when I'm going through my incantation, I'm so happy and grateful now to be a blue diamond and I boomerang. I'm talking about something that hasn't taken place yet. That's a lie, but I'm living in my future. It's an empowering lie. See, everybody here has had a belief, something that you bought into when you were a kid, and you look back on that and you say, I can't believe I used to believe that. Some of you have been in previous relationships and you thought to yourself, this is the person I'm supposed to be with. And then you look back on that relationship and you're like, what the hell was I thinking? What was I drinking? What was I on when I was in that relationship? We all have those moments where at the time you couldn't tell us any different, but then over time we evolve, we grow, we develop, right? So we understand that belief is something that is cultivated. There is an art and a science to cultivating belief. How do you do that? It's what you're plugging into. Who are you listening to? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What are you reading every day? One thing that Mike Healy talked about was the discipline of sitting down and reading, okay? Just the discipline of it. So I have my book, right? So I get up in the morning and I open up my book and I start reading. And I'm going through some of these pages and I'm taking notes on these pages. I'm highlighting and underlining things. I've read this book several times. I bought this book. I bought copies for people. And I go through some of the things that are very resonant with what we do in terms of our business. And so I'm reading my book every day and I'm exercising discipline. It doesn't mean that I always feel like reading. It just means that I am plugging into power sources that keep me in alignment with my outcome. See, the beauty of what we're doing here, the beauty of our collective gathering and how we work individually on our goals, and we all have a commitment to set the example. We all have a commitment to be a leader in this space, right? All of us are leaders. Okay, there's no the leader. We're a leader. Like I don't have any desire to be the leader. I'm a leader that's a part of this overall movement, just like you are a leader. So you're setting an example as well. And doing that and having that discipline to know the power sources to plug into, what it does is it keeps my belief getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Getting on the flight school, getting on these special calls, plugging into Boom TV, having the morning inspiration. It's a power source. Doing my incantations, managing my state, getting on the weekly Go Sapphire Fast Start. All these things are cultivating, strengthening my belief, because when I look at you, I'm looking at a reflection. I'm seeing individuals that are goal driven, that are purpose driven, that have great work ethics, that have that daily discipline, that are hungry, that are willing to show up and be consistent, that are willing to measure, because you can't improve what you don't measure. So we look at the effort that we're putting forth, and then we look at the volume that is being created as a result of that. And that tells us everything that we need to know about our effort or lack thereof, and we make the appropriate adjustments. But all those activities are cultivating belief. The final letter in belief is focus. That's what the F stands for, focus. What you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. The more you do what you say, the more what you say comes true. So you learn to get in alignment so that you don't become just another talking head in the game of life. A lot of people love to talk. Very few people know how to act, or they choose not to act. They know how to act, but they choose not to act. They choose not to take the activity that's required to get to their results. They would rather entertain what? That lie. That lie, those are excuses, right? What is an excuse? An excuse is a well-planned lie. As soon as you make a commitment to never, ever accept another excuse in your life, your whole life changes. Your whole entire life changes. Why? Because you're making a paradigm shift. You are consciously saying to yourself, I am no longer going to rationalize, justify, and create well-planned alibis for my lack of showing up for my goals and my dreams. I am now done with excuses. I will never make another excuse as long as I live. As soon as you make that decision, the rest of your life will look totally different. Now, when you do that, what happens is your posture, your confidence, your vibrational level goes up. And people can sense that when you're in conversation with them. If they're looking at you on a Zoom conversation or a FaceTime conversation, or they're hearing your voice just over the phone, they can tell I am talking to a different kind of human being on the other end of this conversation. They can tell this is someone that is not to be trifled with. This is someone who's about their business. This is someone that I got to bring my A game to. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to increase the expectation and the standards that you have on yourself, so that when people come into your space, they have something to look up to. They have something to live up to. That helps you to not only raise your game, but now they're going to raise their game. And what does that mean? That's called leadership. It's called leadership. People are thriving right now. People are killing it right now. People are ranking up like crazy right now. And it's not just in iBoomerang, it's in our profession. Why not you? Someone is going to break through to that $5,000 a month income in April. Why not you? Someone is going to go from zero to hero in April, from zero to $10,000 earned in April. That is going to happen this month. I promise you that. Why not you? It's your belief. It is your belief. friend of mine told me a story one day, and it was really crazy. He was like, "Yo, I went to my mentor's house, and we were having a conversation, and I was looking at his house, and I was like, man, this house is so freaking amazing. It's bigger than anything I ever imagined, and it's got all of these things and elements in it, and swimming pool, and the closets are ginormous. They're walk-in closets, and he was so enamored with his mentor's home. It was just absolutely beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And he said, his mentor said to him, listen, I want you to come in with me into the other room. There's a draft table. I want to show you something. And he's walking through the house, and he's just like, when you go into somebody's house that's balling, you're like, man, like everything just looks dope. Like every room is like dope. The furniture is the nicest handcrafted furniture. There's nothing that has been left, beyond, without being touched by the imagination. And so he's walking through, he's admiring the home, and this is the first person that he's been under the mentorship of that's earned millions of dollars. So he's just really taken in. And he takes him into this room with the draft table, and on the table are blueprints. And he said, I wanted to show you my dream home. And my friend is looking at his mentor like, what? And he's looking and he's thinking, he doesn't say it. He's like, I thought this was your dream home. Like, I thought the home that I'm looking at right now was your dream home. And his mentor was showing him the blueprints and was talking about how his wife would have a closet. If you all ever remember the Billie Jean video when Michael Jackson is stepping and every step he takes, the square would light up. He said that his wife's closet would light up with every step. Every square would light up with every step that she took. He said the closet space, it was going to be, I want to make sure I have the square footage right. It was something around 2,500 square feet, or it was the size of a lot of people's homes. The closet space, like it was going to be this big walk-in closet that also would have a salon in the closet. So he's showing him the bowling alley inside the home. He's showing him all the blueprints. And later that day, they had a leadership meeting, and he said, his mentor was talking, and he was listening to his mentor, and he said, he was being a little facetious. He said, let me ask you a question. His mentor said, sure, go ahead. He said, well, I'm looking around and I see you have, the Bentleys and all the fancy cars, and you've got a great lifestyle. He said, but why is it that most people don't have what you have? And his mentor looked at him and he said, well, most people don't believe the way that I believe. They don't believe like I do. And he said he took that one statement and he took that one word. He made a commitment to master his belief. He said from that conversation forward, this was years ago, from that conversation forward, he was going to master belief. And at the time that he and I were having this conversation, I knew what he was talking about, but I wasn't at a place in my journey in business where I understood the levels of belief. Like, I knew belief was very powerful because I used it in my own life to create a lot of significant results, but I didn't really appreciate just how powerful, how deep, how layered that word and that concept is when you activate it in your life. Okay. So we fast forward, and I'm building relationship, and I'm meeting people, and I have a lot of great relationships in the profession of network marketing. I know a lot of people who are multiple 7-figure earners, 8-figure earners, and 6-figure earners. That's who I surround myself with. And it's because I see it unfolding every day, and I see new people that get started every day. Like, I speak and I tell you about things that are going to happen, And it's not that I'm prophetic. I just know. It goes beyond belief. I just know. And it's because I've experienced it partly, but also I believed it beforehand. So I understand it, but I understand it more now. So one of the people that I developed a relationship with is someone that is an absolute, just a fire. This woman is one of the most powerful women in network marketing, for sure. And I watched her build an organization where they put in 50,000 sales in 90 days. Like, I watched her go from 0 to 50,000 sales in her organization in 90 days. And we talked about, and I asked her, I said, how the hell did you do that? Because I've never heard anybody do that before. I've heard of people doing like 5,000 in 90 days. That's pretty reasonable. That's not a big deal. But 50,000 in 90 days, I'd never heard of that before. And she said to me, well, I had a mentor who talked to me about belief and vision. And she said, I got that number from my mentor. My mentor told me, like, if you're going to go, big, here's how you do it. And he actually took her through this process. This was years ago. So I'm looking at some of my closest relationships and confidants in network marketing. And what I came to piece together was that the one thing that these stories that I'm sharing with you, the one person that they all had in common, it was the same mentor. It was Holton Buggs. It was Holton Buggs whose home my friend was in when he showed him the blueprint for his dream house. And that's what they call Buggs Mahal. They talked about how they renamed it last weekend on there, From Our House to Your House. They renamed it. But Buggs Mahal, I don't know if you all know this, but it's got the biggest front door in the United States. Like this is a dream house. Like it's probably over the top for some of you. You might be like, this is too much. But that all came from belief. And a phrase that is thrown around in network marketing now is believe bigger, believe faster. Well, that came from Holton Buggs when he was speaking at Eric Worre's Go Pro event. This was probably like 5-6 years ago. He was speaking at that event, and what he said at the event was, if I could do something differently in my career, he said I would have believed bigger, faster. So the power of belief and what you tell yourself about yourself and the questions that you ask, okay? Write this phrase down. Questions are the answer. Questions are the answer. What do I need to believe in order to produce the results that I'm committed to? What do I need to believe in order to produce the results I'm committed to? You see, ladies and gentlemen, when I look at the world that we're in right now, I want you to understand that my friends, the people that I'm close to, they're earning tens and tens of thousands of dollars a month, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. Some of them are doing over $1 million a month right now, today, in the midst of all this. They're continuing, they're increasing their activity. Presentations, three ways, one-on-one, Zoom call, all that. That's what I surround myself. That's what I plug into, because I don't operate any other way. And one thing that Holton Buggs said on one of our calls last week, he said, you all don't even know. You have access to billionaires, because he said, I'm a member of an exclusive group of billionaires and multi-millionaires, and we're a mastermind. He said, because I'm in that group, I get to share what I learned with you, all of you. He's talking about us. It's what you plug into. Whenever I leave the house, it's not as much now, I'll go for a run, but I'll go grab some coffee. We try to patronize the local coffee shops to keep them going. But every time I walk in there and I look at them, I'm saying to myself, because I've exposed all of them, by the way, all of them seen the other side. I say to myself, I wish they knew what I knew. I wish there was a way I could pour what's in here into their head so they could start working on their plan. And something that a woman said was, she said, this was on one of the conversations with entrepreneur calls. She said, I've always had a plan A, plan B, and a plan C. I've always had a plan A, plan B, plan C. I love it when people have a job. Like, keep working your job, man. I love that. And then let's build your business. And then when we get your business up to 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month, then let's focus on taking some of that money. Once we've eradicated all your debt, let's take some of that money and put it into your investment portfolio so you can learn about real estate or learn about investing or learn about hard lending or something. Let's make sure we got 3 to 4 legs to your success table. I'm playing long ball. When I engage with someone that I've enrolled in those first 4 levels, it's 100% true. I spend a lot of time with Sandra Thomas, and Sandra is, I think she's 4th. I think she's at the 4th level. I spend time with Sabina. Sabina's the 2nd level. I spend, like, the people that I spend time with, that I'm in the trenches with every day, it's in those 4 levels. Like, that's 100% true. But understand that all of you are connected to power sources that are absolutely dominant in their space. They're killing the game. So you have everything that you require to produce the results that you want to produce. It's just a question of this. And are you moving in your belief and the art and the science of belief as a loser? Because losers focus on limitations and excuses and rationalization and justifying and low self-worth, low self-esteem, low self-image, right? That's why they lose out. Losers are people that lose out on who they could be. Leaders, they live a lie that's empowering. Because if I'm going to believe in something, why not believe in something that's empowering? And then we live that lie until it becomes true. Dr. Martin Luther King talked about a world where people are judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. That was not the world when he gave that speech in 1963. The world looked nothing like that. But he had to live up to something that was greater than his current circumstances. Nelson Mandela was talking about leadership from prison. That man was in prison for 26 and a half years, and he became president. Nobody look at him like, you want to be president one day when he's in prison. Are you kidding? Breaking lime in the quarry on Robben Island? That's crazy. But he was living up to a lie until it became true. Mahatma Gandhi, dealing with the British Empire, he has no weapons. The man's $1.25 soaking wet, walking around in a diaper. He talk about bringing the British Empire to their knees. That was not the reality when he was speaking that, but it became the reality because he's a leader and he lived up to that lie until it became true. We have the opportunity to set ourselves apart because people are looking for leadership right now. The COVID-19 is a real thing. We're dealing with it. There are going to be more lives that are lost. That's a real thing. We deal with it. We're going to be impacted. We had leaders on the call yesterday that have COVID-19, but they still showed up and got on the call to pour into people. And they have COVID-19 right now, and they showed up on the call because they understand we can make a difference. We can set ourselves apart right now. So how you show up for your goals and your dreams, if you're going to be an example to your children, to your spouse, to your family, to your loved ones, to the people that follow you on social media, everybody's watching you and how you show up, what you post up, how you are, energy, intention, and results. What you produce right now is an opportunity for all of us to set ourselves apart so that 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, when we all look back on this time, because we know the world will never be the same, we can look back on this time with a sense of pride in what we did. And what we do is going to reverberate for many years to come. So if you come at this from a leadership perspective, ladies and gentlemen, and you keep building and cultivating this, you can lay a foundation that will set you financially free and create a space for leader after leader after leader to be developed because of you for generations to come. Have an awesome and amazing rest of your Super Sunday. Let's hop on the Our House to Your House or get back to making calls or what have you. And I look forward to seeing you all next week, same time, same station. Let's keep making it do what it do. We got 4 weeks left, okay? 4 weeks left in April. This was the first week. We got 4 more pay periods left in April to make some serious income, to do some serious damage. Use the stimulus package, take advantage of it. Let's hit those bonuses. Let's keep making it do what it do. And I'll see you all soon. Much love.
Thanks, Ed.
Thanks, Ed, so much.
Got it.
Ed, have a great day, everybody.